Welcome to episode 211 of the Dumb Marks podcast. We got a lot going on today. We got Bound for Glory predictions, Halloween Havoc predictions, but the most important thing is, man, bottom right corner, what the hell is going on with that sweatshirt right now?
I am boycotting Little Debbie for Christmas.
Lies.
Just for Christmas.
Lies.
Just for Christmas.
After you bought the whole supply.
I mean, after I finish the donut.
Look, you crossed the picket line on your own strike. Look at you. Look at you.
I gotta finish the product before I go fully on strike.
No, you
Let me finish.
Waste not, right?
Little Debbie Christmas products. She discontinued the chocolate Christmas tree, which was my favorite, which was the best one.
Lies.
Okay.
Lies.
And what they discontinued it
Best
for?
chocolate. Say what?
Why they discontinue it?
Because they ain't selling
I guess I was the only one buying it.
Yeah. It's the only time you favored something chocolate in your life, and you out here trying to run a fake boycott.
And again, I don't appreciate people on my Facebook page.
Oh, yo, that Facebook page is lit up. You got lit
It's entertaining as all hell this week.
So I posted, I like my women like I like my Little Debbie Christmas trees. Chocolate. Everybody called Captain.
Everybody called bullshit.
Everybody
knows you.
Everybody.
These people ain't wish me happy birthday. Ain't said congratulations. Don't interact.
High school. Ain't seen you since
Pumped
high
out the
school.
woodwork on me.
People that you ain't even know had a Facebook page or were even friends with you on Facebook were like you.
Up there like, yeah. Okay.
And it started off with Squeeze. He was the first one in the comment section. Shout out, Squeeze out there. First one in the comment section.
Not even a minute was up.
Nope.
He might have your post on notification. Hit that bell.
I saw about 4 or 5 people that said I'm only here for the gifts, and they did not disappoint, boy. They did not disappoint.
So I'm boycotting y'all for Christmas. Y'all ain't getting shit, and I'm boycotting Debbie.
You don't give your mom nothing. What makes you think you handed out presents to the rest of us? What are you talking about? This dude out here lies. Now I will say I will partake in time to time with a chocolate Little Debbie Christmas tree. I will partake.
We know,
right? Okay, but I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. That's the only time I enjoy something white is the Little Debbie Christmas tree.
This is a hill I'll die on, and they got the cake sprinkles on the chocolate. That's a hill I'll die on.
So no warning on it at all, huh?
It's a TNA day today, Taquan. Don't be mad.
I was at my store. We didn't get them. So I knew the vendor was going to John Eagle next. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start this too. Rolled on over to John Eagle, looked around. He's like, what you looking for? I'm looking for the chocolate, man. He's like, yeah, they ain't doing those no more. I almost left the store, but I seen the muffins in the cake, so the donuts. I'm like, yeah, let me get these before I go. Then I'll go.
Will there be another purchase this season? Absolutely.
Christmas, no. My regular stash, yeah.
How are the new Christmas items?
Yeah, on the muffins and the donuts. Give me on a 1 to 10. What you rating them?
Muffins just taste like every other donut. The muffins are good, but they're like you wouldn't expect them to be the Christmas donuts. They're like vanilla, buttery vanilla. I was expecting something Christmassy, but they're good.
Have any of you tried the ice cream?
No, I still have it.
Last year,
ice cream. I gotta find that. That's only at Walmart.
I don't want to go to Walmart. That's out there, step foot.
I got you.
Yeah, I got a Walmart story, but I'll save that for offline. I'm not gonna put that on blast.
Yeah, I think everybody has a Walmart.
Right.
Taquan, that's not fair to Little Debbie. Don't put that on Little Debbie's name. Okay?
Hey, if that's how I go out, that's how I go out. When I'm happy.
I think if Jason had to script it, if he was doing it himself, it would definitely be with a Little Debbie in his hand.
Suffocating on a honey bun. There we go.
I saw somebody smoke a honey bun. Like on the smoker.
Okay, I wasn't sure what you meant by smoke.
Yeah, pause.
Hey,
Pause. People were smoking honey buns on the smoker, and I'm like, what? What is this fat kid creation?
That's
Like,
big
what
backery, boy.
Big
Deep
back.
fried those.
Yeah, you gonna get a big back. You gonna get a big back. You keep eating that.
Big back wax casket.
I've seen people do it like on the Blackstone, like they flatten it out a little bit, kind of like eat it like a pancake. And
I mean,
Shit,
totally different.
boy.
Jason's like, I've done that, I've done this.
Blood sugar. That's all I gotta say.
Jason, the only dude I know that just ate 3 bags of Little Debbie donuts, a sleeve of muffins, and ain't put on a single pound.
Right.
As he shoves one right in his mouth right now. Always eating on the show. Always eating on the show.
So I was actually watching another podcast this week. There was a clip that I was watching on Team Coco's page of Woody Harrelson, and that's all he was doing was eating during the podcast. I was like, oh, so apparently, like you could make it and still eat on the show. So Jason, you're doing something right.
You gotta stay hydrated, nourished.
That's not nourishment.
That's a drink.
There's not one. There's not one thing of nourishment in a Little Debbie cake.
But for Jason's body, probably
yeah. Mark, we already put him on blast. He come in here capping with this fake boycott. He come in here faking with this fake boycott. He's lying. Way to kick off the comments because them gifts were hilarious. Right up in there. I immediately tweeted out that was a lie. I immediately put that in the gift section. I didn't even finish reading the whole sentence that you typed out, Jay, and I knew you were lying. As soon as it said,
you read the headline, not the story.
As soon as it said, like my women, I said, nope, he's lying. He's lying for sure. Hey, look, you gotta make a meal, you gotta make a meal.
Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
For sure. Yeah. You thought Frozen was the first time you heard, do you want to build a snowman? And no, Jay and Mark, do you want to build a snow bunny? Because they've been snow bunnying it up.
So the only white person I've dated jumped in the chat, and I was like, "You just had to, huh?"
Absolutely.
I noticed.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off me and get on.
No. Let's keep this going.
All right.
So this may play into my Mount Rushmore.
He gonna put Lil Debbie on his Mount Rushmore for the week.
Interesting to see how we tie that in now. All right, before we get into the week in wrestling, just wanted to start off with something that happened Monday, kind of out of nowhere, with Samantha Irvine announcing that she was leaving WWE.
Wasn't out of nowhere, according to her.
To everybody else, yeah.
Yeah. And I love how she just put it, I think it was Wrestling News or whatever publication it was, on blast, because they clipped the screenshot of her and their headline was Samantha Irvine quits Raw minutes before the show, and she immediately tweeted, Samantha Irvine leaves Raw months, or left Raw with months in advance, whatever she tweeted out. But anyways, the point is, she let them know months ago that she was done once her contract ended. The contract just so happened to end on Monday, so she made the announcement Monday. It is what it is. Like, you people that went over and aboard and just immediately started slinging arrows at Ricochet because you think a woman can't just move on to a different career path that she chooses, and she just automatically has to follow whoever she's dating to AEW. Like, you just need to get a life. That was an early submission for Mush of the Week.
Yeah.
For all those people that were out there. Like, get a freaking life, dude.
Tony Schiavone.
I mean, you act like she was there a total of 3 years. like
and did a hell of a job in those 3 years.
Yeah.
She's definitely gonna be missed.
And she finished her contract.
Yeah.
She totally finished her contract.
And she's going back to pursue music and spend time with her child and everything else. Like, she got other priorities outside of the wrestling bubble for all you stupid ass marks.
It's the only world you can live in, man.
Yes, it is.
Like, sometimes I get mad that we talk about this as much as we do on this show week in and week out, because then you get people that pulled that BS on Monday. Like, yo, she wants to do something else with her life. Let her go do something else with her life without slinging arrows and making it out to be like she's the Benedict Arnold of the Pro Wrestling Federation because she decided to leave WWE.
I wasn't coming on to talk shit. I just wanted to give her flowers because she's well deserving of getting that.
Yeah, this is not me shitting on her. This is me shitting on everybody that was commenting about her leaving. Like
everybody has been, like, outside of even the pro wrestling world, has been giving her flowers for months and years now. It's just like, I think that even surprised a lot of people that, you know, some of their reactions this week. But
and
hopefully,
if it does, and if it doesn't work out, hey, yay, she left on good terms. She can come back.
Look at Lillian. She's left and come back how many times?
Exactly.
Well, I just found it funny that they decided to break glass on that and sign her to a deal after she hasn't had a full-time gig in 8 years.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know you got Alicia over there on SmackDown, but my man Mike Romes is down in NXT. You can't bump him up and have somebody else fill in NXT. Like, why did you have to break glass and bring Lillian back into the fold? No hate towards Lillian. I know it'll sound like hate, but at the same time, like, why do you constantly have to go back to the past? Why can't you just move forward with the future? You already elevated one person on SmackDown, and I know they reshuffled the deck by moving them around and taking, you know, Mike off of Raw and putting him in NXT, but yeah.
I mean that's a hard road to fill with somebody new.
But you're not doing somebody new.
You didn't have anybody.
You had Mike put him right back on Raw where he was before they did the shuffle.
But then who do you have for NXT?
It's developmental for a reason.
But
you bring up somebody new, just like they always did.
Yeah, you're on TV now.
It don't matter.
They probably
that's the one spot for TV and NXT that you can put somebody in.
Yeah.
You still got to groom these people.
You said TV? Wasn't they on TV before?
Broadcast.
If you're in front of the camera, you on TV.
My guess is they probably did it because of the popularity of Samantha, and just instead of bring somebody on, then people like shitting on them, bring somebody in that, you know, can do the job well.
Tack on. That's hate. That's hate. Tamina did not catch that stray this Saturday morning. That's definitely hate. But look, I'm not mad at Lillian being back. It's just, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes I think, you know, they're still just automatically going back to that Legends bucket for things when it's.
We don't know how long Lillian's going to be around for either.
Yeah, like
whether it's a permanent fix or if it's just something temporary.
You keep going back to the Legends bucket. Them Legends is getting up there. You're not going to have the ability to always cash in on them. So you got to start laying the foundation for the next 20, 30 years of dipping back into the bag.
Yeah, tell the wrestlers too. You tell the wrestlers too.
All right. So with that, let's kick things off with the mushes of the week, because I have a feeling we got some topics. So Donald, why don't you kick us off?
Somebody else could go. Because I might choose one of 100. So somebody else could go.
Nah, empty the clip. We emptied the clip on Jay earlier. Let it fly. Let's go.
Well, probably the main one would be the NXT men's division. It is so stale. It is so boring to me. I don't know what they are doing. They got the best division in wrestling, the women's. They're just blowing them out the water. Everything I saw on Tuesday, I was highly bored with. I was bored with the Trick and Ethan talk. I was bored with Beetlejuice Tony D'Angelo out there, who can't break plastic cuffs and just getting beat down. I'm over the men's division of NXT.
Yeah, that whole Oba Femi was like that was so what? I'm led to believe that Oba took out and beat up a woman backstage because he
Yes.
laid out the rest of the family. Is that where we're connecting dots now? Because you did nothing to dispel that. Like, why would you even set that up that way, given the climate?
This being Nikita,
and then the whole Trick and Ethan, that entire segment just I get potentially trying to add some depth character wise for Ethan, but like none of that hit at all from either one. And we're right back to where we were with the issues before when Trick had the belt.
Yes.
Yep.
And it showed right away, like literally right away, as to the reason why he's not ready to be the guy with the belt.
Ethan needs a new dance partner because I'm over this.
Yeah,
maybe they'll bring out something better in him.
It feels like Trick.
I didn't hate his promo. It just felt like he was kind of repeating himself.
I mean, we'll cover it a little bit later with predictions, but yes, this better be like the last time.
Yeah, but
so NXT men's division for you, Donald, is the mush of the week right now.
Yes, for me. Yes, that's the main one. Yeah, there's all the kind of side ones through the week, but you guys can go.
Yeah.
Jason,
I'm going with LA Knight in that triple threat or that tag match last night. Like, you just ruined a good story.
Just to make the tag match or the triple threat,
or the tag match that turned into the tag match with Mello and Andrade.
What? It wasn't a tag. You mean the best of seven?
Not a tag. Yeah, the best of seven. Did I say tag? Yeah. The best of seven.
Yeah, it was
just to set up a triple threat match into it.
Yeah, just to set it up. Like, let that play out. Let that finish. I mean, like,
what was the point of doing a best of seven? Just other than TV time.
Exactly.
And they killed it every time. And it's just like sour taste. Also,
we talked about that several times. That was the best thing on SmackDown for a while, where it was Mello and Andrade. And for it to end like that, and that the live crowd there didn't know how to react. Like, and then LA Knight, who's a babyface champ because he's over with the crowd and the crowd loves him. He hops on top of the announcer's desk and cuts a heel promo. Like nah. Neither one of you are winning. I'm the winner. Because I'm still the U.S. champ. You weren't defending the match. You were the referee.
He was out there reffing in sunglasses and a title. Like, I was like,
that popped me. I did get a kick out of that.
Over that.
Yeah, and Michael Cole was like, I've never seen a referee ref with a belt on before. And I was like, well, that's because none of your referees are champions. Like, so that did pop me. But like, that was not good booking to just waste an entire series to set up a triple threat.
And if he doesn't drop it, then I'm just over LA Knight.
I don't think he's going to drop it at Crown Jewel, but we can wait till predictions for that next week.
How many times have he defended the U.S. title since he won it? I'm not sure offhand. I'm just asking.
A couple people got a shot. I know both them, Mello and Andrade, got a shot.
Okay.
And even those matches weren't finished properly because they interfered with the other. So, like, LA Knight got the win, but Andrade came in for the Mello match and Mello came in for the Andrade match. So, that right there should have set up your triple threat, not booking those two to go to a game 7 and not have an outcome. So,
I'm looking forward to hearing what we think next week for the Crown Jewel predictions. Steve,
I have 2 on the list for me. There was way more this week, but two really stuck out. One, Chris Jericho winning the ROH World Title.
Absolutely.
Now, the way that he won it, I loved. I love Big Bill slapping him on the shoulders and walking up the ladder and just having him dead arm reach up and grab the belt. Like that
fits the gimmick.
That's great, right? Taking the belt off Briscoe and Ring of Honor is dead. It's dead.
There's no difference between Ring of Honor and what was WWE ECW.
Exactly.
It is. There is no reviving it at this point. There's no. And what sucks about it the most is that on RHTV right now, Athena is still doing amazing work, and it's still
never on TV.
She's the only reason to watch Ring of Honor. Literally the only reason. And another promotion, quote unquote, or brand where the women are outshining the men, and it's been in Ring of Honor women's division. It's just absolutely disgraceful what they've done to that brand.
Yeah. We talked about it, I think it was last week, where you could have put like Big Bill in this position. Like if you want to make like Ring of Honor like in a way like the second tier of AEW, put somebody young with that title and have Jericho manage them. Like if you're gonna do something in the learning tree and like actually make him the learning tree instead of putting the title back on him for absolutely no reason.
It's another resume check for resume check's sake. Like I
will give. He won the title the first time for the Ocho just to have the Ring of Honor title because it was there to win. But why are we putting on him a second time when it makes no sense?
Yeah, no. I mean, I will give Jericho props for being 50-some years old, going out there and putting on that match that he put on. Like the bumps and everything that went on in that match were absolutely nuts. So I'll give Jericho his props there.
I expected to hate the match, and I didn't hate the match.
There's no reason for him to win that title. Yeah. Like, so the man talks shit on and consistently brought up the champion's dead brother, and yet you have him go over. So really, what for? What purpose? There's none there. But I think that the bigger gaffe on the show on Wednesday night. What are we doing with these quote unquote ragtag baby faces that were standing outside the arena for 1 hour for 1 hour and 54 minutes?
There we go.
What are we doing? Are you serious? That's how you decide to book?
The whole show.
Really, you thought that was the best way to present your babyface stand tough army against Moxley and the Rebels? This is what we're going to do?
You just proved right there that
people standing outside with nunchucks.
Nunchucks, yeah. Johnny Hungry had nunchucks.
Satnam Singh and Jay Lethal are now baby faces because why? The Butcher's out there because why?
Yeah.
Defending AEW.
Everybody getting closer. Tight for the camera.
And the best thing was, and the best thing is, they was in the parking lot and they stood behind the parking line the whole time.
Yeah, they didn't cross Jason's picket line. They didn't cross Jason's picket line.
We can't go in and cause havoc. No,
the whole time they stood behind that line. Like, this is it. The camera's right here. You can't go past it.
And if they even drew cross the line, TNA can get them on gimmick infringement.
Newsflash: there's multiple entrances to an arena.
Go back and watch a DX.
And then, so not only were they out there all night long, and we continue to show them out there all night long. Yeah, let's just get different.
Let's go back to the parking lot.
Let's just time the sunset. We'll go out there and just time the sunset throughout the show.
That is their everybody gets a payday booking.
Not only that, but then you have the quote unquote payoff to this angle of these stooges outside. Marina Shafir pulls up in the truck and everyone's like, oh shit, where are they? Meanwhile, they've been in the ring beating people's ass for 5 minutes. And what happened? It took you how long to go from the parking lot right by the entrance to the back of the arena?
Exactly.
To after Chuck Taylor gets his throat stomped out.
Neck broken.
And then everybody runs in with 20 seconds left on the countdown clock, and they just show Orange Cassidy crying.
I love how Monday Seth came from his car. Straight to the entrance, one shot.
One
Under
shot.
a minute. Under a minute.
He had the blueprint. That's the difference.
15 seconds. Oh, you want to be famous? I'll make you famous. Where's your big ass at, Bronson? And these dudes are out there playing tiddlywinks with nunchucks,
steel pipes,
chairs, a broomstick from the janitor's closet,
chairs,
like
cinder block.
In a matter of a week, it went from I was interested in where this story goes to this week, just like, what the fuck are we doing?
To nothing.
Like, that was some of the worst booking.
And
that whole show was bad, mostly for booking. But
if those are your only baby faces, that's why AEW is where they're at right now. That's exactly why.
Not a one headliner, but one.
WWE did that too before in booking of, okay, we're going to show off the baby faces here, and it was just people that they weren't using, and then you build upon who the real baby faces are going to be, like, for the storyline. But just I said it last week, whenever you use Dark Order for it, what's the point?
Taquan, it was the Greasers versus the Socials in the out and the Socials. Yeah. And the Socials never showed up. It was just the Greasers standing out there with their weapons. Just Soda Pop, Pony Boy, everybody was there. But yet, the
only person who showed up for the Socials was Tracy, aka Mina Shafir.
That was like 2002 WCW bad. 2001 WCW bad.
They weren't there in 2000.
Whatever year, the last 2000, 2000, like that was that level of what are you doing?
They don't know. I don't know who's booking this storyline, but they don't know.
It's bad. I mean, it's very bad.
What credibility does anybody have to go up against Moxley now? The only person with credibility is Orange Cassidy, and you didn't even show the best part of Orange Cassidy. The best part happened after TV ended, and they posted a clip on social media of him getting pissed off and shoving Daniel Garcia and saying something to him about it.
That was my Mount Rushmore. Finally giving him some emotion, except being the cool dude and all that stuff. His balls finally dropping. He became a man.
But it didn't happen on TV.
Exactly. It didn't happen.
It's a rough week. It was a rough week to pull something out. Rough week. It was a rough week.
They're picking non-canon events.
And then I swear, if this happens, I swear, they showed the Young Bucks and Jack Perry standing at the top of the ramp, just watching again.
Whole time.
Just watching again.
Should we go down?
If this leads to them three becoming baby faces again,
save it a day. After
they Meltzer driver Tony Khan in the middle of the ring 5 months ago,
after your takeover failed,
like
with Jack becoming the scapegoat and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, Tony. No.
What's Okada gonna do then if they become faces?
Can't say bitch.
We'll just call all the heels bitches now.
They are a lost brand right now.
They need a lot of help.
Yeah. And there were certain things that I liked throughout the show. And there's stuff there that they can build on, and there's stuff there that definitely has my interest. This right now is not one of them. You lost me after Wednesday night with this angle.
Yeah.
There was only one highlight to Wednesday night, and we're not even going to go into that.
As soon as I saw the nunchucks out there, I was like, I'm done. I can't take this real at all. Nunchucks.
No, I did. Like, there were multiple things I liked Wednesday night. I love Mariah May just chucking Anna Jay's shit out of the women's locker room. Like, you don't belong in the ring with me. You don't belong in the locker room with me. You don't belong, period. Like that. I like the Kyle Fletcher promo with Don Callis, and where he went with Will Ospreay and going through that. I like that, right?
Shelton Sammy was good.
Shelton and Sammy was good. I like Shelton's presentation. I like MVP still handing out business cards in the back, and Ricochet looking like, hey, I really might consider this. Like
Still can't talk.
There's things that are there that have potential, and you could have made this Moxley angle with stomping out Chuck Taylor, and there was still there was a way to do it that it would have had the impact that it was supposed to have for Orange Cassidy without doing the booking that they did. But my thing, which they didn't capture on camera on the main screen, I shot from another angle on a replay. You still have Wheeler Yuta who's torn.
Yes.
At what they're doing.
You're gonna break his ankle.
He set up the ankle, and Claudio, nope, we're taking his neck. And Yuta's like, I'm not cool with this. Like, you're taking it, like, and when he stomped on the chair on the neck, like, you saw, like, Yuta throw his hands up on his head. Like, there's still stuff there too that could be good, but you're not catching it the way that it's supposed to be caught to give me those little layers of the story that make it must see tune in TV.
Kind of like Yuta's kind of like Daniel Bryan whenever he came in with Nexus, did the attack, but then turned his back and was on the team that fought Nexus.
He's Bryan in the Wyatt family. Like, I got forced
that's a good analogy. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, like,
that's real good there.
I mean, I just don't know, man. That was, but to do it when they opened up the show with that shot and they spanned across, and I'm looking at these people and I'm like, are these extras?
Yeah,
these were extras. These were extras. No, those were contracted wrestlers.
That's what we do with jobbers.
Yeah.
Last time we saw Jay Lethal, he's getting punked out in the back by Hangman.
We're security. We're there for everything else.
We asked the same question when the Wyatt 6 debuted too.
Oh man, like I feel like I need to do an experiment right now, and I feel like I need to, and this is an experiment that is just a gluttony for punishment, but I feel like I need to only watch AEW for like a month. Just strictly AEW, nothing else. Just strictly so I can see without anything else factoring into my viewing experience if it really is as bad as it appears to be. Because
you got a month to Full Gear. Now would be a good time to test that.
I know. That's why I said, like, I really might just block everything else out after this weekend and just go Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, just AEW and see if it really is that bad. Like, Rampage last night, there was good stuff on Rampage last night.
Watch it.
But you like last night you had three teams in a triple threat tag team match where it's like why aren't these three teams in your tag team division?
Exactly. Not
like,
being looked at all.
Yeah, and they put on a hell of a match. Like, it was a really good match last night. Ricochet and Nick Wayne was last night. That was your spot fest, your back and forth. Don't get me wrong. There was a moment in that match where I was about to put it on my mush because Nick Wayne did a double underhook destroyer to Ricochet, and he kicked out. So you amped up the Canadian destroyer. You added to the devastation by double hooking both arms, and you still didn't get a pin.
Ricochet can't lose right now.
But yeah, it was bad. It was bad Wednesday night. That was the worst. That was the worst thing of it all. Was that presentation for that? The second then you had Jericho winning, and that pissed me off. Right, so I'm already mad by 9 o'clock. I'm fuming come 9 o'clock.
Your background's like
You're so mad. The background is
yeah, and then
he turned NWO right there.
And then you get Camille and Queen Aminata. And this is no means a slight to Queen Aminata because I like what she does. She has potential. I think she's good. But why are you booking Camille to have a 50-50 or hell, even a 60-40 match where she looks like she's taking most of the damage and the punishment?
That was
when
Camille's
she has a
first
feud with
two-segment
Statlander.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Camille go in 2 segments.
Yeah.
Other than that match, and I was surprised that they actually built Queen Aminata to look strong in that match.
And she's a brick house.
You killed the entire vignette that you played before the match, hyping up the strength and the dominance of both women. You just completely wiped away that whole presentation. By the way you booked that match, don't put Queen Aminata in that spot. Camille should not have left her feet yet in AEW. She shouldn't have been knocked down once. She shouldn't have had a false finish put on her once.
Pro, what's up?
Now we get Taquan and Pro back in the comments. Yes.
Did somebody break a glass? Somebody break emergency glass?
I think
Somebody did. Somebody did. Pro, we were worried about you, man. We've been trying to speak good news. No, but Queen, I mean, Camille should not. She shouldn't. Her back, her shoulders, a knee,
nothing.
Hell, a hand. Nothing should have hit the mat so far. And that's the second match in a row that they booked her where she's taking stuff.
Yeah.
Do you not know what she did prior to coming into your company that made her the brick house? Do you not know that she didn't speak for damn near 2 years with Nick Aldis, and she was arguably the most over woman in all of pro wrestling?
If you're going to do that, if you're not going to book her correctly in a match, let her just be the muscle.
You're not even booking her correctly as the muscle for Mercedes.
No, not at all.
She's not shining the cool bass like she's nothing.
They're booking Marina Shafir better.
She's the strongest woman booked on Dynamite right now, outside of Mariah May.
And speaking of Mariah, because Jericho was my mush. But
Don't you dare put her.
Not her. Not necessarily her. They did Battle of the Belts last week.
Her.
And they don't even make it a title match. It was an eliminator match. Like, I'm so glad to see Battle of the Belts is going to be going away soon at the end of the year, because now they're just happening shit with it. Yeah. One title change in the whole history. 12 episodes, one title change. And now we're just not even going to put title matches on the show that is supposed to be a title book show.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I like that Anna Jay is in the mix right now based on what she did in Japan and coming back. But, like, you're still doing a disservice the way that you're booking it. It's
exactly.
Yeah. Like,
you beat the champ. You should be champ.
So now she's going to lose the title match. And where's Anna Jay at after that? What did you accomplish by her getting a roll-up victory in an eliminator match on Battle of the Belts?
Should be holding some Athena. They should be holding some nunchucks and a steel pipe outside, in the parking lot. That's who Marina Shafir is going against. So there you go.
Probably.
Right. I'm tired. Enough negativity for me. I'm tired of being negative. What do you got, Chris?
Those were my two. Okay. Jericho is number one, and then I can even continue on that. Tony Schiavone and Daddy Magic on commentary on Wednesday.
Ooh.
Awful. Daddy Magic's just awful on commentary to me, but him and Tony Schiavone together, no chemistry whatsoever.
Which is odd because I don't mind him on like Rampage or Collision whenever he fills in from time to time. But yeah, something Wednesday night just did not
Yeah.
And why do you have 17 commentators? Like, what are we
There's
doing?
too many people in the commentary category in AEW. I know they let a couple people go, but way too much.
Yeah. Are we jumping straight into my Rushmores, or we got a prediction first? What do we got, Captain? Oh, Captain.
Let's talk about some good before we get into predictions.
You want to double up on predictions back to back with pay-per-views?
They're double booking.
Okay, I see what you're doing. You want chaos towards the end of the show.
Donald, what do you got?
It was Orange Cassidy.
Just Orange?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said it was teeth pulling this week. It was all bad.
It was. Jason.
Mine is what they're doing with the women's tag division, just interweaving between brands. But right now, I got to go EO. She needs like a face run because the way she controls the crowd is ridiculous.
I love Kyrie pulling out the pirate scope and making sure that Julia was actually Julia.
And he's in that, yeah.
Yeah, like
yeah, but them four crossing each other in the back on NXT, that was like, there you go.
That was the same as same as Braun and Jacob standing across each other on Raw. Mm-hmm. They were not expecting that reaction. I can tell you that much from the crowd for wanting to see that match.
Oh yeah,
that did like literally anybody that Jacob has stood across has gotten the largest reaction, and that just goes to show
as soon as he breaks
what
out
they
face,
have in Jacob.
As soon as he breaks out face,
I know they've been protecting him to an extent, but if you getting that reaction against anybody that you stand against, regardless of that person, and you're already having dark matches with the champ, yeah, it's gonna come sooner rather than
later. Person catching Superman punch up the ramp.
Come back too much. Getting too much. Yeah, you're too much, man. Yeah, yeah, you can't be catching those all the time.
Yeah. All right, Steve, are we on the same page for Mount Rushmore this week?
So you may have the full event, the 2-night event potentially, but my Mount Rushmore is Takeshita.
WrestleMania tickets? Oh,
well, we're not even going to get on that topic. Not even going to do that. I said no more negativity. I'm not going to come here ranting and raving about that. No, Takeshita's my Mount Rushmore this week. The back-to-back matches that he had 2 nights for Maple Leaf Pro with Mike Bailey the first night and then Josh Alexander the second night. Unreal, unbelievable. I mean, I had high expectations for him and Alexander. It lived up to my expectations of what those two can do. I would love to see them running back. I knew him and Speedball would be good just because of the contrast in styles, but that match over exceeded what I thought those two could do.
I 100% agree.
Like, to me, that was the match of the entire 2-night event. As much as I loved him and Alexander, him and Speedball stole the show.
Agreed.
Out of that 2-night event. And that's arguably one of the best matches. You could put that up as match of the year quality. That's how good that match was between him and Speedball. Like, Takeshita is on a different level right now in ring.
He needs an Orange Cassidy run.
Like from the G1 through AEW to the triple threat, winning the belt. I still think they misused that because he should have been the one to take the belt off Okada, but I get it. He's part of the Callis family, so it's a heel against the heel, and that doesn't make sense. But yeah, he's been lights out.
And they'll book him to lose against Ricochet.
Mine was the 2-night event. Giving them their props for that. The only thing that kind of threw me, which I understood why they did it, was just Josh Alexander coming out as a face. Where he's a heel in TNA and coming out as a face there, but I get it. Scott's going to push him probably as possibly the face of the company if that's what happens. But
you're in Canada, he's not going to get beat in Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's trying to say Bret Hart will get beat in Canada. It's not going to happen.
Just like he didn't even do anything like in TNA, so it was just different to watch him, but he was more of his old self the whole weekend, what he's been before this heel turn. But I enjoyed both nights. It was easy watch. Kind of enjoyed. It started at 7, ended by 10. Kind of enjoyed that for an event to be over a little bit earlier. They didn't announce their next event yet, but so hopefully we see something soon come from them.
Yeah, no, everything about them, production wise, talent wise, match wise, announcer wise, Morrow and Don Callis, everything about Maple Leaf Pro over the weekend was great last weekend.
Jason would have hated it, but
Definitely.
when Morrow started off with "Guess who's back again," I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad Jason's not watching this."
Fired up already just because of that.
Pop culture references galore the whole weekend.
Yeah, no. But shout out to Demore. I don't know what's going to come of it. But if you run a 2-night, pay-per-view every couple months and you build up a card with people, until you figure out your exact direction and what you want to do, how you want it to go, I would gladly kick up the $30 for 2 nights worth of pay-per-views every single time. Like, it was well worth the money and well worth my time. Like I said, they had everything for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So
it's a very good variety show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else before we get into predictions?
I did like Solo this week from a character standpoint, because he wasn't the cardboard cutout of Roman that he's been doing. He was actually Solo this week. Like
the voice he did,
the marketing and stuff. Yeah, you get
I got 2 tickets, and then with standing across the Motor City Machine Guns last night, like, oh, you're here to make an impact. Like, he even called out the pun.
Yeah,
for yourself. Like that's who I think Solo needs to be, is that version of him. Like, they've done those interviews where they like go around and ask a question to all the wrestlers and this and that, and they ask like who's the funniest, and like a lot of people gave Solo as their answer, which you wouldn't expect, right? Given what he's been portrayed as on TV. But I just thought seeing more of that come out from him just helps build him up to be separate from Roman and not just trying to be exactly Roman. So give the different vibe to his version of Bloodline.
And we're building upon that more and more.
Kudos to Sean. You got Carmen and Adonis. You teasing Oba and Nikita. Like, it ain't snowing, I ain't going type deal. Okay. I see you. See you working. That's Sean Cook.
Speaking of the real Jason.
That's why everybody calls you a liar in your comments. You just proved our whole point from the intro right here. Yeah.
Crosses his own picket line.
Crosses his own picket line. Perjures himself on the stand. Like, man, it's unbelievable.
I ain't saying if it ain't snowing, I ain't going. I'm just saying. That's the storyline he's running with.
Let's not play into that stereotype so much, because that stereotype was already out there from Nikita whenever she was on reality TV. Like, but risen her with Ric Flair's 1974 fur coat. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Anything else? No. All right. We got TNA Bound for Glory tonight, NXT Halloween Havoc tomorrow. So we'll kick things off in the predictions here with TNA Bound for Glory. 10 matches total, 2 pre-show, 8 main card. So kicking things off on the countdown, Ash by Elegance and Heather by Elegance versus Zaya Brookside and Brinley Reese.
This has been a perfect example of a low card feud that can give everybody something to do without just being like a meaningless thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have a storyline throughout. Like, not everybody's going to be in the title picture, right? But you still need stuff for people to do, and it still needs to be entertaining. I've been entertained by these four. I've been entertained by the whole Heather by Elegance transformation. Like, is it the best stuff in pro wrestling? No, but does it fit the bill as far as keeping me entertained from time to time with what they've done? Yeah. I don't expect the baby faces to lose here, so I'll go with Zaya and Brindley.
Was that then with the punch bowl segment?
Yes.
Okay, because the way I seen it, I couldn't see who was doing the actual.
Yeah, Heather came out and did her transformation, then
Yeah.
Zaya and Brindley came out and did the sneak attack.
Okay. Give me Zaya and Brindley.
Same. Zaya, Brindley.
Make it 4 for 4. Baby faces are going to win.
No,
I'm liking this crossover because they're getting two different styles of wrestling. You're learning NXT, like the NXT people are getting like the NXT brand wrestling, and then you're crossing over into. So you're learning more than just the WWE way.
See how it goes. And the other match on the countdown, the 20-person intergender call your shot gauntlet.
Now this is where things can get interesting. So Frankie Kazarian is the first entrant into the gauntlet. AJ Francis is the last entrant in the gauntlet. Other than that, we have no idea who's going to come out and when and where. So there will be some surprises, I'm guessing.
This is usually the surprise match of the year.
Yeah. TNA usually pulls out and has some people in here that you wouldn't expect, a la the Battle Riot with MLW. But my intrigue lies more with whether or not Frankie Kazarian actually wins this match. Because Frankie Kazarian is the referee for the main event against Nick Nemeth versus Joe Hendry for the TNA title. And if you win this call your shot gauntlet, we've seen it before with Moose.
2 years ago, right?
Yep. Call your shot. So does Kazarian win this and then spoil the coronating moment for Joe Hendry? We'll see. But it definitely has my intrigue of something that happens in the pre-show that can impact the main show. So I'm curious to see there. I don't know. It's a tall task to go from one all the way to the end, but Kazarian to me has been the star of the weekend so far for TNA. From the press
he was great on the press conference. Yeah.
It's tremendous stuff from Kazarian. So for chaos and what could be, I'm gonna predict Kazarian over the Field, just because I want to see how stuff plays out in the main event.
I wish we knew more of the people, even not necessarily surprises, but a little bit just more of the roster that's going to be in here. But
yeah, so you got for your prediction, you got Kazarian, you got AJ or the Field is what you're going with here, from a prediction standpoint. So
I'm going with the Field.
I'm going with the Field. Surprise, AJ Styles.
He has a Liz Frank injury right now.
Yeah. Don said it to work.
They want surprises, A.
You got a better chance of seeing Gilbert in this call your shot gauntlet than you do AJ Styles.
Speaking of work, they were talking about college during the press conference, and Nick Nemeth was like giving like his motivation of why you should stay in school, blah blah blah. And Frank Kazarian goes, "Just drop out. College isn't work." That was one of my favorite moments from him. I'd be surprised if Kazarian doesn't win this. Just who else are they pushing right now?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, from an intrigue purpose, it is what it is. Like AJ winning it, as far as like having the typical heel heat guy, but AJ Francis to me would be a guy that would win it and then lose whenever he calls a shot. But that only works with like a true babyface champion.
And he did announce that his contract ends with TNA at the end of this year too. So as of right now, he hasn't re-signed. So see what happens there. Definitely a few contracts ending up pretty soon.
Yeah.
All right, on the main card, Santana versus Moose.
Again, a storyline that doesn't involve like a title, but has been a very solidly done story between these two. I'm going with Santana. He's somebody that you need to start pushing and elevating up the card since he's come back. Moose is a good feud to have that go into with. So give me Santana here.
I'll go Moose.
Santana. Moose had his time.
Agreed. Santana, you got to push him a bit. Moose had his time. You don't have to have Moose win just to keep the system going. The system keep doing their thing even with losses. So give it to Santana on this one. Monsters Ball match for the TNA Digital Media Championship and International Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. PCO versus Matt Cardona. A lot going on in this one.
We just throw this match out.
This match kind of took a turn after Stephanie DeLander had to go out with neck surgery.
Yeah.
So, you know, it kind of lost the main driver of the story itself in that regard. But give me Cardona just because I don't think he'll win. But yeah, give me Cardona.
PCO.
I knew you weren't going to go Cardona.
What they always say, PCO never dies.
I'm kind of going with Cardona here because Stevie brought up with DeLander out right now. It would kind of make sense if PCO kind of plays that. We don't know how long she's going to be out for, but if he plays that like role of like he's not, I guess, whole in a way right now.
Yeah, he's Frankenstein without his bride. Like,
yeah. So, you know,
he's the Undertaker without his urn. Like he doesn't have the same mythical powers
That's a good
to
one.
come back.
So I kind of feel like, PCO's kind of not at 100% with this. So and being a Monsters Ball match, yes, it's PCO's match, but Deathmatch King on the other end too. So I'm going to go Cardona just for something different. Here comes a hate feud. Josh Alexander versus Steve Macklin.
This may be my match of the night selection. Maybe there's one other one on here that I think might up this. But Macklin has been sneaky good in Impact. Like, I know people may not have realized what he could do whenever he was in WWE, but his run in Impact has changed my perception of him and who he is as far as a pro wrestler goes. But I got Alexander with shenanigans here. I think the Army of the North gets involved. They've been one up in Macklin at every turn, so I'll continue the trend. Let's keep the heater on the heel here and have Alexander win.
Alexander.
I'll go around. So Steve Macklin's winning, huh? Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why Alexander has a group right now to make sure he wins the matches. No title at the moment, but to make sure that he at least wins. But Steve, I agree with you. Right now, especially with, like I mentioned before, some contracts expiring, I think Steve Macklin could easily see his stock rise in TNA next year. And continue.
I mean, he's already been champ once. So,
yeah.
You know, and did a hell of a job as champ. So, wouldn't be surprised there. But yeah, give me Alexander.
Full Metal Mayhem for the TNA World Tag Team Championship. The System versus the Hardys versus ABC.
I definitely don't want to see the Hardys win this match, but I got like a sneaky submission that they're going to pull off this win, and I absolutely hate it. Matt can barely walk. Like, let's just wrap up the Hardys' career, please. Like, end it. I don't need them out there anymore. I'm not excited whenever I see them on my TV screen. I don't care about either one of them at this point in pro wrestling. Like, I don't need it at all.
And Jeff brought up at the press conference, this is going to be Full Metal Mayhem reimagined. So whatever that means, we'll find out what twist they're doing to it. But
maybe I'll sit down and play the piano for the whole match.
Oh, I wasn't even going there. I hope it's been like a broken match.
They're going on like 30 years. Like, it's time for them to hang it
Matt
up.
brought it up. They're in their 4th decade of wrestling.
Let's see.
I need the system to. I love ABC, but I feel like ABC is still a tag team just because TNA doesn't have a lot of tag teams.
Yeah.
if they had more of a roster, I think ABC would have not necessarily split up, but I think they would have gone their separate ways, and Bay and Ace would be doing stuff singles wise right now.
Yeah.
But I'll go with the system.
System retaining.
System retaining.
I'm gonna give it to the Hardys. After the press conference the other day, I just feel like Steve, like you, I just feel like it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't want to put it out there, even though like I'm not going to be surprised when they win later on tonight.
The system and ABC have been going back and forth too much lately. I feel so. It's like I feel like they're just going to put the Hardys in there for something different. Not saying I definitely need to see it, but
it's to boost Matt's ego.
Give them why they're paying them the money. I'm sure.
Yeah, to make him say, "Oh, we were justified. We should have had the AEW belts."
TNA Knockouts World Tag Team titles: Spitfire versus Rosemary and Wendy Chu.
Give me Rosemary and Wendy Chu. Let's get a TNA NXT crossover as champs. Let's get the belts on both shows. Let's have some matches on both shows using both companies. Let's keep this cross-branded promotion relationship going. Give me Rosemary and Wendy Chu.
See a tag team champ versus a tag team champ at some point.
I like where you're going, Steve. Give me Rosemary and Wendy Chu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
same here. It was like, let's shake it up a little bit. You know, they've been working together for a couple months now. Let's shake it up.
What's
crazy? The Knockouts tag titles are not something that they have been like keeping long term with people. So sometimes it's hot potatoes, like on these events.
Yeah. What's crazy is seeing Wendy Chu with Rosemary fits so much better in TNA than Wendy's character in NXT.
Agreed.
Yes.
So like, why not? Like, it's a natural fit. So just have them take the belts for a while. Don't got to be a long run with them, but like, yeah, let's do something different. Let's get a cross promotion tag team champ out of this.
We're gonna go 4 for 4. So Spitfires retain.
A lot of unanimous decisions on this prediction show. I don't really like this.
TNA X Division Championship: Mike Bailey versus Elio Del Vikingo.
This is going to be my match of the night.
Has potential for it.
Like I said, Speedball put out a performance last weekend. Him and Mustafa Ali was, my favorite match, Slammiversary. Like, these two in the ring together. As long as Vikingo is fully healthy, which I think he is, these two are going to put on that crazy, fast-paced X Division matches that made the X Division famous.
Mm-hmm. Hell, let's go back a year ago with Bailey versus Ospreay at Bound for Glory last year.
Yeah,
I was a contender.
Yeah, I'll keep the belt on Bailey on Speedball, but I think this is going to be a match of the night.
Too much hot potato lately. Keep it on Bailey. He just took a loss, so give him that win back.
That loss don't matter. It was in another promotion.
It matters.
It wasn't on TV. It was on pay-per-view. So technically, you could say it didn't happen.
I go with
TNA record.
I go with Bailey because every time I see Vikingo fight, he always takes the L. I don't know what it is, but
I'm going with you guys. Bailey to retain. I'd be very surprised if we saw a title swap here.
We're either going to be 100% right, or we're going to be just over gopher on his prediction.
The marks are going to be smart this week.
All right, one of the dual main events, the TNA Knockouts World Championship, Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich.
I think it's time for a change. Jordan's done everything she can possibly do as women's champ. The only thing I think
left
was holding the belt the longest.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be the only reason to keep the belt on her, is if you're going for that record. Other than that, let's make the change. Masha is in a good spot. She's a credible challenger, somebody that can beat Jordan with believability. So, wrestling instincts aside, I'm going to go with Masha here for a title switch.
I'm going Jordan. She's not losing until she leaves. Try to bear a swan song.
Going with Masha. But you keep putting out there, her contract is done almost. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be there. So, yeah, the numbers are speaking for me in this match.
That's the unknown right now. Is when is Jordan done?
January.
Yeah, but when? Like, will she be there for Hard to Kill, or like, will that be her last, or is she done like end of this year? To start January in WWE. So just those little logistics I'm unsure on. So I wasn't sold on Masha until this week. Now I think Masha could be a great champion, but the contract signing is kind of what was just like they might be putting the title on Masha here. So if it happens, I'm okay with it. I think Masha can definitely carry the brand. Jason, I'm with you. Jordan retains and carries the title until she officially leaves. So we're split on that one at least. And that'll bring us to the main event. TNA World Championship, Nick Nemeth versus Joe Hendry with Kaz as the special ref, as we mentioned before.
So again, this is where the intrigue comes in.
Yeah.
If Kaz wins the Call Your Shot Gauntlet, I think this changes things, and Kaz ends the show as champ, regardless of who wins the match. You also have the outside JBL factor, which may come into play in this match as well, because he's been known to pop up in TNA, and he's been known to pop up and say stuff to Nick Nemeth, and we still have no clue what the hell JBL has said to Nick. Yeah. However, we talked about this on the show a couple weeks ago. You have arguably the hottest guy in pro wrestling throughout this year in Joe Hendry, who's had crossover fame, song charted on billboards and everything else.
Pop culture fame.
Yeah. It's being played in arenas and stadiums and everything else.
And he said it's going to go up for an award next year.
Yeah. So like, this is your WrestleMania show. Like, you want to send everybody home happy after 17 years, like Joe Hendry said in the press conference, 17 years I've put in this work. I think you can crown him and make him champ. So,
and just speak on that, I meant to bring it up before when we were starting the predictions. This is the 20th anniversary of Bound for Glory, something that they really haven't even been hyping up. But do you do something special for the end of this match?
Yeah, you have Joe Hendry win only to lose it immediately to Frankie Kazarian, and everybody goes home pissed off.
The good old Bryan Danielson thing.
or like you mentioned earlier, 2 years ago, Moose and Josh Alexander.
Yeah, that had everybody hot then because it was the crowning moment for Alexander, and Moose immediately cashed in and took the belt off, and it just led to monster heat on Moose. So you can definitely replay that with Kazarian.
Which was the right call then, too. And it's just like, but like what you were saying, with Joe Hendry's at the hottest, like, do you keep delaying it? Like,
I don't know, man. That's why I said there's so much that can go into this main event. Like, this is because of all these different layers and different things that could go on, this is the match that has the most intrigue for me. So, like, trying to book it and figure out what they're actually going to do and give a solid prediction, I have no clue, because there's so many different ways that they can go about it.
That's the best part, the unknown in pro wrestling, whenever you do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
they did delay the Lex Express,
and we have no clue how this is going to end up right now.
They did delay the Lex Express, though,
He got his win, technically.
This is the match where, like, no matter what I say as far as a prediction goes, where I'm literally just going to watch and
be a fan.
Take me on the ride for the 20, 22 minutes, 18 minutes, however long you're going to put on this match for. Just let me enjoy it.
We know the champ can go, so they could give it some time.
Yeah. So give me Hendry, but I have Kaz cashing in and walking out with the belt.
I picked the field, so give me Hendry.
Hendry, when you gonna pull that trigger?
Steve, you brought up biggest show of the year. If this is your mania, you got to give him that moment. The only thing with me, if you don't do it now, when are you going to do it? He's another one that could be on borrowed time. I think he said he's signed through like mid next year right now. So it's like if you give it to Kaz, I don't want to see Kaz just get a short title reign either. So it's just like I wouldn't like, and if you don't put the belt on Hendry, then that's going to be one of those things that you talk about that why didn't they ever put the belt on him? Like,
and then if you look at this from the aspect of what's next, so for whoever wins this match, what's next, right? Nick's been a tweener, right? Heel or babyface. He's fought both. As far as title defenses, he's wrestled against heels. He's wrestled against faces. Hendry, you immediately have Josh Alexander there lined up because Alexander cost him at Slammiversary. So you have that you can go into. Kazarian, if he screws over Hendry, you still have Hendry there as a babyface to come out of this. You also have Nick Nemeth as a babyface to come out of this against Kazarian. So you have multiple people lined up for the champ as far as what's next. The only person that I'm not sure of what's next for is Nemeth. Like, he's the one with the shortest road as far as challengers coming out of this. So I think he's the short straw out of the three. It's just whether or not you go with Hendry or Kazarian and see which way you want to run things from there.
And you brought up the wild card earlier, or JBL. So we're kind of saying we're all pushing Nick to the side right now. And if this JBL factor comes in, don't forget that Nick's only had the title since Slammiversary. So he hasn't had a long title run with this.
And nobody was picking him to win at Slammiversary. Yes. So he was put aside there too, right?
So with the JBL factor, I think you can put back in Nick and say they might still run with this just a little bit longer. I mean, my prediction is Joe. I want to see it happen, but I think you can make a case for all three of these men that are right now going into this match.
So another story's going to end tonight.
Potentially. Speaking of which, Gunther was absolutely amazing last night. Not to jump sideways into the weeds, but interrupting the way like, and just like cutting Cody down, you over dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, to me, Cody, like, this title run and where he's at right now and how he's positioned, he's like the less significant champion I think I've seen in a long time. Because he's third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth in the Bloodline storyline as champion. Gunther absolutely owned him for this make-believe belt that
next week.
We'll table that. So he's below Gunther there, and then the man that came in and made the save picked up the belt and looked at it again last night. And when he handed it back to Cody, he eyeballed Cody again.
We're making this prediction in a non-WWE prediction show.
All right, match of the night. Match of the night, and then we'll get into NXT. Match of the night. I got Bayley and Vikingo. Match of the night.
Alexander Macklin.
It's a good pick, Donald.
I'll go Alexander Macklin.
I kind of want to be Jordan.
Want the Hardys, but they're going to kill that match.
I want it to be Jordan and Masha, but Jason, I have a feeling something that Full Metal Mayhem might end up being it.
You said the Hardys are going to kill the match, like as in good or bad?
Bad.
Okay.
As long as they don't make it into a broken match, it could be good.
We're getting everybody. We're getting Rebby. We're getting Senior Benjamin. We're getting all 17 of Matt's kids. Like, we're getting everything.
And who did Vanguard won?
Yes. You hate him, but you know all of his props.
Jeff Hardy's going to go through a table and come back out as Willow. Like, we're getting all this shit.
Yes, most likely. Wasn't that what kind of happened with Matt at Anarchy in the Arena or whatever?
So from Full Metal Mayhem, let's get into Halloween Havoc with the spin the wheel, make a deal bullshit that they ran for this card.
There's 3 of those. So we'll kick it off with this first.
I like how that wheel was turning and it just automatically stops.
Every time.
Shotzi Holston?
No, you can't spin the wheel without Shotzi. This doesn't work.
So first one up, tables, ladders, and scares match for the NXT North American Championship. Stipulation is match can only be won by pinfall. Tony D'Angelo versus Obafemi.
So you have all this, and you have to get a 3 count to win.
Exactly.
I didn't care about this match when they wrestled on the last show for Tony to win the belt. I don't care about this match now. Move on. Take Oba out of the North American title picture. I get it. The turnaround was quick, so you just decided to run back the rematch. But this is the 3rd match of these 2. I don't need it. And you tried getting heat on Oba to make Tony win and be a yay moment. I don't care. But I got Tony retaining.
You're not pinning Oba twice. Come on. You're just gonna kill the guy's momentum.
Not if Stax and Luca Crisafino or Luca Croissant come out and they both
back-to-back losses. Back-to-back losses. Give me Oba.
Beetlejuice. Tony with
I think it was just you got the moment for Tony, and that was it. Oba wins back the title here.
Just never had that damn moment.
Exactly.
Got an ambulance match. Andre Chase versus Ridge Holland.
Oh, okay.
I don't think an ambulance match has worked since Earthquake and Hogan. Maybe Drew and Orton was a good one, but
yeah.
I think Shaq had a better showing in the ambulance than.
Where are they at for this?
In the arena.
Or no, they're in Hershey.
Hershey, okay.
In Hershey, yeah.
In the arena.
Let's go Andre Chase. Let's have all of Chase U come back and hit finishers on Rich Holland and then load him into the ambulance. So give me Andre Chase. What are we doing with these first 2 matches? Why? Never mind. All right, you're not going to get off. I'm so
Who is it? This goes to Donald's comment earlier. What roster is these matches? You got the men's roster.
Yep.
You're just wasting Thea Hell.
Yes.
As a side character.
Exactly. Give me Andre Chase. He has to win something sometimes. He just can't be winning tag champions and then lose the belt the next defense. He got to do something. And when Ridge Holland loses, fire his ass. I'm so sick of seeing him on TV. Wasting time.
The red glasses. Let's go.
Yeah. Wasting time.
That's your Tony D.
I'm going with Rich Holland in this one. Just because what do they ever have Andre Chase do? Nothing. So, more of that.
So we're 0 for 2 as far as interest in this card. With this one.
Up next, winner's choice to be determined for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Kaylani Jordan versus either Fallon Henley, JC Jane, or Jasmine Nix.
I thought Donald or Jason would have came in here for their mush of the week and had the NXT production issues with the show going off the air on CW before they showed Delta. So a lot of people didn't see Delta come out at the end of the show because CW. There's like a 20-second difference depending on where you're at in the market.
Okay.
So I here in the Berg, I saw Delta come out and then the show ended. But a lot of people across the country did not see her come out.
Okay. I saw it on YouTube, so I saw it.
Yeah,
that's why I didn't know. I seen it, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people didn't see it. They had a Goldberg DDP situation. I like the the choice here of Kalani not knowing who she's going to face.
Mm-hmm.
My feeling is it's going to be JC. against Kalani here, but good feud. I like Kalani. I don't think it's time to take the belt off her yet, so let me keep Kalani with the retain here.
There's too much power in that division to be holding on to a belt. So give me, it's going to be JC, and it's going to be a deserved JC win. Even though Fallon deserves some shine too, but give me JC.
All right. I'm going Kalani, and I'm with you too. They're going to fight. She's going to fight JC.
Just gonna go around here. Kalani wins.
I will say I am pleasantly surprised at of how well Fallon has fit into the mold with JC and Jasmine. Like I didn't think she could pull it off. But man, like those three definitely go together. Like, and I hate the toxic attraction.
Yes, that's the other thing. That's the only thing that's killing it for me. It is.
But I definitely like the way she's fit into the group and mold there.
The writers weren't done with that gimmick, apparently.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's killing it for me.
They weren't going to end it, but you know.
Yeah, they wasn't supposed to end it. Yeah,
yeah,
mm-hmm. Yeah. That's it. It's just like them coming out, the entrance, the camera on them. They do their little moves. I like. Yeah, this is too much toxic attraction.
All right. Up next, we got Roxanne and Cora versus Julia and Stephanie. So this is probably where we'll insert Delta, right?
Yeah, you would think, but you know, maybe she gets involved with Fallon and them in the Kalani match.
She came out with everybody.
Yeah, she came out with all eight of those women out there. To me, the biggest thing is based on that quote unquote debut, even though I don't know why you would run that spot whenever everything you've been hyping up for has been for Halloween Havoc for Delta. So why have her show up early?
Yeah.
But like, is anybody else
teaser? This is canon.
But I mean, has anybody else felt like Julia's been lost out of those three? Between the Delta vignettes and debut, Stephanie's debut and matches, and then Julia, like I feel like out of the three, Julia not feels the least important, but like she hasn't hit the way the other two have for me. And she's talked about the transition here and the differences and having some struggles with that and not necessarily finding herself yet. And I think it shows on TV. Like she just presentation wise, work wise yet, like she's not the Julia that Julia is or was in Japan prior to coming over. So like, I don't know. That's just a sidebar, maybe a deeper discussion for those three after time plays out and sees what those three do. Delta only appeared but by God, with that freaking appearance, it was like, okay, this is a player. With what they did and how they
and all that stuff.
Yeah, with how they built her up and everything.
I mean, she's done nothing.
Another real powerhouse.
What'd you say, Chris?
I said it's just nice to see another real powerhouse.
Yeah, Zariah, I think was her name now that she's going to be known as in NXT.
Yeah.
I think this is the match that I'm most looking forward to on this card because of what these four women could possibly do in the ring.
Great.
So hopefully Julia gets a little better footing and it comes across more, because I wasn't necessarily thrilled with her and Roxanne with their one-on-one before Cora came back and cost Julia the match there. I'll go with Roxanne and Cora. Let's keep the new baby faces that are supposed to just come in and take over the division. Let's not crown them just yet, you know. So let's go with Roxanne and Cora to keep them at bay a little bit more.
I'm going Julia Vicaire. Core takes the pin. I'm not sure who else she would pin in this match.
And that may be where Delta comes in and she just wrecks shop and takes all four of these women out.
I'm going Roxanne and Cora for the win. just to keep that little split between Julia and Stephanie. You know, I just don't want them all buddy. You know, there has to be a split between all four of these girls with that, and I hope Cora doesn't get hurt. Just hoping.
Jason, I'm with you. I think Cora's the one to take the pin, and I see Julia and Stephanie do this only because I don't think they're going to get necessarily a hot shot into the title picture. Like, they're in the title picture, but I don't think they're going to get the title right away. So this loss doesn't necessarily matter to Roxanne, and especially if Cora's the one that takes the pin, then it still kind of elevates their stock in the company still. Last match, main event. Devil's Playground match for the NXT Championship. Trick Williams versus Ethan Page.
After Ethan Page dropped the Nas Ether S diss track this week, the Not Like Us wrestling version of a diss track, give me Ethan Page. You don't put that out there and lose. Okay. He had bars in that song. One of the craziest diss hooks I've ever heard.
And that's what he's good at too. Shit like that.
Yeah, I was completely entertained. I sent that over in the group chat. Like that was my entertainment for the week, was listening to that. And just watching Ego in the video was just, yeah. This is sad, but like, I don't even want this to be a main event. Like,
It shouldn't be.
It don't mean nothing. Like, I don't know. There's just, maybe we could CM Punk come back the way Ego dropped him in the diss track, and that's how, you know, that punk ass ref.
So, man, you want to make a men's division
since the return, so
man, you want to make a men's division worse.
Give me a Trick.
Trick, you're not playing hot potato with this title.
Trick for the win. Then I hope they just go their separate ways and get Wes in there to fight Trick.
Oh, see, that's a good point. Does Wes get involved here? I'm going with Ethan. I think that Trick only won the belt just because of being on the main show that night, the CW debut. So Ethan takes back the belt. Match of the night.
Give me the women's tag, Cora, Roxanne, and Julia and Vakir.
Give me Kalani and
Andre Chase Ridge Holland.
Kalani,
Hey, Chase balls out.
Kalani and whoever she fights.
No, well, I mean, what was the tag match a couple months ago?
Yeah, we were with Andre and
It does bring up a good point there.
Yeah, and the MVP of Chase U, Duke Hudson against Frazier and Axiom. Oh man, this card, like, it's a one match card for me, and I can either be proven extremely wrong by the end of tomorrow night, or I can be proven extremely right. So,
but Steve, you and I were kind of talking about this yesterday. There's not a whole lot going on Sunday night, really. So, could just be a watch just to watch it.
Yeah.
If there was other stuff going on, I probably wouldn't watch it live, but
I'll watch it for two matches.
Yeah.
You know what side of the division that is.
And I saw this is starting at 7:00 too, so this gets a little bit earlier start time.
Everybody else could wait till results on Wikipedia.
All right, so those are your TNA Bound for Glory and NXT Halloween Havoc predictions. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what your predictions are for both of those events. And gentlemen, before we wrap things up, anything left?
NXT or Motor City Machine Guns winning the tag team titles last night. They now have held belts in NWA, IWGP New Japan, ROH, TNA Impact, New Japan Strong, CCW, GCW, and now WWE.
The predictability this week.
TNA.
You weren't predicting them to win the tag titles last night.
I mean,
After
I know
Monday played out, you knew Monday, or you knew Jacob, or you knew Jay was going to lose on Monday. After Monday played out, you knew they were going to lose tonight.
I
See,
mean, I know you had to get the tag titles off of it, but damn, not the good old TNA booking style. Like, you come in to get the titles.
I thought it was going to stay in the bloodline. That's where I thought the loss was going to happen. But.
Man.
Donald, you'll appreciate this. Somebody tweeted out they should rename February to J because his title reign only lasted 28 days.
Oh, that was up there on the mush list for sure. They just did that. I mean, they did that just to shut Rikishi up. That's what they did it for.
Adam Cole gave an interview with Sports Illustrated talking about his injury and that, and he had to get a cadaver bone put in his ankle. And then he also talked about him and Britt not being together but still being friends. So he's giving MJF enough ammunition to come back about how he's gonna, make love to his ex and something with a dead corpse in it. I'm sure, but
that man's a wash.
That was the other thing that was going to be on my mush.
Man, that man's a wash.
Was MJF, like, he's still filming Happy Gilmore 2, which is why he's not back, and he probably won't be back to full gear for the match itself. For him and Cole, but like.
They can put his masseuse on TV.
How many times are you just going to have MJF being, hey, look, you got to win 5 matches to beat me. You got to take 10 lashes to face me. You got to win 3 matches to face me. And the first person to win 3 matches will get the first match. Like, what are we doing? Like
the MJF play card. That's the playbook.
Come on.
You have a belt. You're making stipulations.
That's the playbook.
CM Punk belt's still laying around somewhere, right?
He got to go through the trials of whoever.
And then it's nice to see House of Black actually on Dynamite. I mean, even though it was against some straight jobbers. I mean, finally on AEW TV. Thank you. At least something.
Yeah, and then Buddy Matthews cooking Adam Page in the back because you're fragile. Why are you calling me?
Fragile.
Because you're fragile. Because you're fragile.
We'll see how Wednesday happens before. It could definitely be another injury.
The other thing that I have,
go hold some nunchucks in the parking lot. That's gonna be my new thing now. That is hold a steel pipe in the parking lot. You becoming a jobber, you hold a steel pipe in the parking lot.
Don't forget reindeer ears.
Yes.
Two things outside of pro wrestling. One, shout out to Westinghouse High School here in Pittsburgh area. They had a playoff game last week where they only had 11 kids. They played 10 on defense. The reason why they only had 11 kids is because a fight broke out the week before during a game, and the rest of their team got suspended. Did they deserve to get suspended? No. Were they in the wrong? I don't believe so. Looking at the film, that they should have suspended the entire team except 11 kids that played. And they only played 10 kids on defense. They won 68-0. They won the game with 10 kids playing on defense and 11 total the entire game. And won 68-0. So take that in your pipe and smoke it for your suspensions.
10 more years, they'll be able to it.
Absolutely. And then that's hilarious. It's hilarious. And then the other thing, first trailer for Cobra Kai Part 2 came out this week.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I sent it over. The group chat.
I didn't watch it only because I haven't watched Part 1 yet. So I'm going to watch Part 2 together. But
Donald, shit's getting ill. Oh, it's going to get live.
I'm going to watch as soon as we get off.
Still ready. November 15th can't come fast enough.
Damn, a lot of stuff's coming on Netflix real soon.
The only other thing I had was TKO is no longer just WWE and UFC. They added the professional bull riders this week. So,
get the fuck out of here.
So expect that crossover now. We had that big moment. They had that big moment over in England last week with all the TKO champions, and just wait.
That NASCAR crossover was weird enough.
Whoa.
Yeah, what's next? Braun Strowman out there riding a bull. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
We're at
I had one. Don't wrestle one.
Who are you?
Wait.
That NASCAR stuff. Who are you?
That'll be the next thing. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to episode 211 of the Dumb Marks Podcast. Follow us on all social media at Dumb Marks Pod. Give us a like and a follow on Spotify. Listen to the show over there. and buy the merch, prowrestlingtees.com/dumbmarkspod. And before we wrap things up, give you the quote of the week here. Don't forget to be grateful for what you do have. So
keeping the gratitude train rolling after my quote from last week.
I was about to say ...
No, there was a quote. There was a quote.
So until next week, we'll see you guys then.